Deep in a shadowy European forest sits an imposing castle. Inside, a young woman named Laura lives a comfortable, heavily protected, and utterly lonely life with her English father. Outside the castle grounds, a strange epidemic is spreading. Local peasants are suddenly falling ill with a rapid, suffocating fever. The locals attribute these deaths to the upir, a regional term for a vampire. Then the castle's quiet isolation breaks. A speeding carriage loses control and crashes right outside the stone drawbridge. Out steps a commanding, distressed noblewoman and her unconscious daughter. The noblewoman claims to be on an urgent, secret mission of life and death. She begs Laura's father to take in her fragile daughter, Carmilla, for 3 months while she completes her journey. The father agrees. Laura's eagerness for a companion has allowed a meticulously engineered trap to settle into the center of her home. Carmilla is an unusual houseguest. She rarely wakes before 1 in the afternoon, eats almost nothing, and she exhibits an intense, smothering affection for Laura. She whispers fatalistic promises about dying together so they can live as one. That languid demeanor snaps only once, when a traveling merchant stops at the castle to sell amulets, meant to ward off the local vampire threat. Carmilla flies into a sudden violent rage, demanding the merchant be whipped and branded. Soon, Laura begins to waste away. As we see in this illustration of the nocturnal visitor, Laura's decline is marked by agonizing nightmares. She dreams of a massive, sooty black cat pacing her room, culminating in a sharp, stinging pain, like 2 needles driving deep into her chest. A physician arrives and asks a strange, specific question about a localized soreness. He pulls down the collar of Laura's dress to reveal a tiny blue spot, exactly where the needle struck in her dream. The combination of behavioral anomalies and physical evidence identifies a specific predator conducting a biological extraction. The physical rules of the castle begin to break down. One night, Carmilla vanishes from her bedroom. Despite the doors being locked from the inside and the windows secured, she is later found asleep in an adjacent room. The answer arrives in a shipment of restored family heirlooms. Among them is a 1698 portrait of an ancestor named Mircalla, Countess Karnstein. Look at this comparison. On the left is the 17th century oil painting of Mircalla. On the right, the teenager currently sleeping in the castle. They are a pixel-perfect physical match, right down to a tiny mole on her throat. The teenage houseguest is over a century and a half old. The predator is completely untethered from linear time and normal physical boundaries, operating safely behind a permanent facade of youth. The scale of this operation is revealed when an old family friend, General Spielsdorf, arrives at the estate. He is broken by grief, having just lost his own niece to the exact same cluster of symptoms. The general recounts an eerily familiar story. Months earlier, at a masquerade ball, a mysterious masked noblewoman pleaded with him to watch her daughter while she left on urgent business. The general agreed, taking the girl into his home. The girl who slowly drained his niece was named Milorca. A linguistic puzzle connects these cases through the names themselves. This is the name of the 17th century countess, Mircalla. The letters of Mircalla shuffle exactly into the general's guest, Milorca. Those same letters rearrange once more to spell Carmilla. The Karnstein family remains active, running a reproducible serial conspiracy against modern aristocrats. The general's testimony and the linguistic link to the Karnstein name lead the group to the family's abandoned ancestral seat. In these overgrown ruins, they locate the countess's hidden tomb and end the cycle. Written by Joseph Sheridan Le Fanu in 1872, Carmilla established the architectural blueprint for the modern literary vampire, a full 25 years before Bram Stoker published Dracula. Earlier folklore depicted vampires as bloated, mindless peasant corpses attacking their neighbors. Le Fanu upgraded the monster. He built a predator that wields high society, aristocratic charm, and emotional manipulation to bypass physical defenses. The lasting horror of Le Fanu's creation is the realization of how the trap is sprung. The most dangerous predators do not break down your door in the middle of the night. They wait patiently outside, using your own empathy against you, until you willingly invite them in.